doing those old.
Look at Rod, man. He's doing his Jack Morgan there.
I was all cranked sideways there in that picture.
That's awesome.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, this is a special edition of the RoadFS Detail Bookie Podcast. We are super excited because Dave Sanchez and the legendary Rigo Santana have put on, or they're putting on, a special event at the Petersen Automotive Museum. And it is August 28th, 29th. Let's just say, let me just get it right. August 28th, 29th, and 30th. Learn, connect, and elevate. So we saw this amazing event. Dave reached out and said, hey, can we talk about what we're doing? So Dave, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. So what's on the plate? You and Rigo always have something amazing at the Petersen Auto Museum. So
yeah, well, you guys remember back last year in July, we had this event, which was a 3-day event, training, certification, and it was awesome. I mean, the feedback we've gotten was amazing, and people have been calling, hey, when are you going to do the event? We missed it, but we want to go. And I talked to Rigo and I said, you know what, we got to run it back. People are excited. I think we brought a lot of valuable things to the table. We had some great brands. So, we're doing another training August 28th, 29th, 30th with some awesome brands. Obviously, SONAX, Flex, AutoFiber, Lake Country. Some great brands that are teaming up to help us.
Yeah, I think you got Dr. ColorChip as well, and I think Rod and I are going to drop in for the event, so it should be a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, so the thing I think is amazing about this is that, Rigo, you kind of dedicated a lot of your life to training. I mean, you're IDA, RIT trainer, you do the new generation training, and then you're the SONAX master trainer. I mean, you really have turned a lot of your focus is on training. So what can people expect from this training, Rigo?
You know what? A lot. One of the things that me and David are going to be introducing, is the flex machines, right? Everybody's used to seeing the maroon machines, the 18-volt. We'll have all 24-volt flex machines on the training that people will have the opportunity to work with. The forced action, the orbital, and then it's not confirmed, but we have a little surprise coming from corporate too that hasn't been released that might be coming to Petersen for the training. And it's always the innovation in the training, right? Because to your point, I'm always investing in training and going to different places and teaching different people and learning new techniques and being able to bring them to the table at Petersen and at a venue like this. It's great because we don't always get the opportunity to do it. So being able to give the everyday detailer or the do-it-yourselfer guy to come to Petersen and be in a multi-million-dollar event location, it's priceless because a lot of times we do hold trainings in detail shops and other places. Yeah. But the Petersen itself, holds a lot of exclusivity.
Yeah. So all the training is going to be down in the vault?
Yes. We're gonna be in the vault where also too it's a very exclusive area. And we're going to be doing it down there as well. So a lot of the people are going to be able to see a lot of cool cars while they're down there. And on top of that, working on some of the exclusive vehicles that we'll be working on for that event.
Yeah. Well, I think that the cool part about that is not just that the Petersen has, priceless vehicles and you get to work on cool cars, but a lot of times they're older vehicles that have different paint than you would normally get to polish on. This is not just a new Toyota Corolla that's got a base coat, clear coat. Some of this stuff is lacquer, some of this stuff is Emron, some of this stuff is single stage, and so there's a lot of different materials that you get to work on. And I think that's one of the things for me anyway is being there. You never know what you guys are going to bring up. I mean, it could be the one time it was a Porsche 356 that had like 6 miles on it from the factory in the 60s, and the next time it's a movie car
Ford
that's been repainted. So you never know what you're going to work on there. And I think that's what's really cool about it is because there's so diverse number of vehicles in there that the training is really valuable. I don't want to overshadow how cool it is, right? Because I'm one of the ones that's like a kid in a candy store when I get down in the vault. But The one year ago that we had James Hatfield's boat tail coupe, you got to train on stuff that had completely vertical panels that were tied to something with over a 45-degree angle. And just to learn how to work on that kind of a vehicle, it helps change your mind of what you're thinking about. There's new techniques, there's new ways of doing things. And so the learning is absolutely invaluable because of that.
Yeah, and to your point, right? Like not every car is the same. Not one car is the same. And being able to work with cars and also to learn that not every car needs a paint correction. And especially at the Petersen, I'm pretty sure David could chime in on that, right? That how the different levels of caring for historic classic cars at the museum.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the beauty about the Petersen, also is that we're going to bring different type of vehicles into the class, but not everything can be paint corrected. So how do we enhance a car that is one of a kind, that it has paint that's probably chipping here and there? So we'll talk about that and come up with ideas to how to better present it, and I think that's what the Petersen brings, stuff like that people don't normally get to work on a daily basis, so they can elevate their game. So when they do get a car that's something that's classic, they know exactly what to do, and not necessarily everything needs to be paint corrected.
Right. So what is the agenda? What's on the table for this 3 days?
So Friday basically is introduction to the brands. So all these brands we talked about, for SONAX, Flex, Dr. ColorChip, the AutoFiber, Lake Country, and then we just added Gold Standard also. These are these guys that are out there polishing Tesla trucks. So Matt from Gold Standard is going to be out here also part of the training on how to polish brass and aluminum and metals. So first day is just introduction to the products. We'll get to talk, answer questions, and then when Saturday comes in, it's all hands on. So we'll go from paint correcting to polishing, enhancing paints, and then we'll get into the coatings and then the metal polishing and how to properly protect cars as well.
Wow, that's going to be awesome. And I think that is one of the things you keyed in on, David and Rigo, is that the fact that you don't always have to paint correct something, right? Like I remember we had a coach in there once, and I say coach because it was basically like right out of the era of changing from horse-drawn to engines. And the whole top of it is like basically leather, right? We all say vinyl top, but this was leather. And you're not paint correcting that. You're not putting a harsh compound on that. So it's the different products for the different areas of the vehicle. You'll have like older convertible that has like a leather boot, and you've got to protect that area when you're doing it. You've got stuff that has rivets, right? And most people don't ever get around a vehicle that has rivets. And how do you get around those? Well, you don't take a machine polisher and start hammering away at those rivets. You've got to go. You're using your fingertips and going around there, or you're using a very small device, a little 3-inch, a little 2-inch. And I think that is some of the techniques that I personally, for me, I'll give a personal recommendation on this because I've seen a ton of trainings. Jody and I are blessed. We get to go to all these trainings all over the world. But I was absolutely in awe at the simplicity of some of the techniques that Rigo and his team trains people on when it comes to these specialty vehicles. Very simple things like covering one area with a microfiber while you're polishing, because your concern in your head is you're going to bump into that other panel. And I watched, I think it was Royer Horton or one of the new generations people just put a microfiber down there with one hand and polish with a 3-inch. And it was like so simple, but it was something you would not think of until you saw it. So you're going to learn techniques. You learn the products, how to take and say, okay, how do I do that test spot with what product, and how do I determine if I'm going too harsh or too soft or whatever. And it is not like every vehicle down there is 1949 or older. You're getting into some that were recently painted. We were there and we saw some cars that were just recently painted and brought into the museum, some hot rods and things, some different things. You got McLarens and carbon fiber different materials that are going to be on some of these vehicles that, they're out there. You got Corvettes with carbon fiber splitters. You got to know how to polish that stuff. So that's going to be fantastic. So Rigo, how many of your team is going to be there doing the training?
You know what? We're gonna have a handful of the guys there, and then we're also gonna have guys from the Petersen. And besides the support we're going to have from the vendors that have years of experience. And that's a cool part about it too, right? Because, you're able to bring years of experience from different channels. Because a lot of times when you do go get trained, somewhere it's just one individual, right? And in this training, you have a combination of different individuals come in. We were just talking to the metal guy, polishing guy, right?
Yeah.
We're always detailing paint, but we're never like focusing on the metal polishing, and being able to have him come in and give his input. How priceless is that? So it's a combination of multiple guys, years of experience coming together. So it's gonna be a fun event. I mean, we try to make it as fun as it is. And then for all those guys, they have I've gotten asked throughout the years, how do you detail a car from the museum? Because everybody's paranoid, everydy's kind of like the stigma, right? What if? But that's the cool part. Like when you come to an event like this, you come to realize, okay, this is what it takes to detail a museum piece, and you leave there with that token, right? So it's going to be a cool event.
Yeah.
So who is the event designed for? Who are you trying to get into training?
The ideal person.
Me and Dave were talking, and we were trying to target the detailer, but then Dave was like, you know what? We got to bring everybody on board. The do-it-yourselfer, the detailer, the one that thinks he's a detailer. Let's bring them all in. We got to get them all dialed in. So, and that's a cool part about the Petersen, right? Because, you have a lot of art enthusiasts that go to the museum that just want to learn about the paint. And there's car owners, right? That some of them really want to take care of their vehicles, but don't know how to do it correctly. That opens the door for them. Then you have a lot of detailers that are, barely starting in the industry, or already senior detailers that, might want to learn a thing or two. So it opens the platform for everybody. Yeah. That's the thing. We're not kind of like, zoning in on just a selective few. This is a training that if you don't know, don't feel uncomfortable, because you're detailing what a guy's been in the industry 20 years. You make sure everybody's on the same plateau.
Yep. And I think that one of the things that I'll throw out there as well, from my personal experience with going to several trainings with you guys, a lot of times I think detailers are hesitant to go to a training because they're intimidated, or they don't want to seem like, man, I don't want anybody to pick apart my technique or anything. The Rigo's team and the team from the Petersen Museum are the most generous and most open to helping you learn, and there will be zero egos. Nobody is going to pick you apart. And if you are doing something that they teach you to do a different way, it's done in the best way possible. There's nobody there that brings anybody down. It's just the opposite. They build everybody up. Everybody that'll be there, from the SONAX team and from the Petersen and Flex and from Dr. ColorChip, everybody there is there just to help you up your game. And this will elevate your game.
And to your point, Rod, I guess that's always going to be the topic of our industry, the ego, right? Yeah. Everybody's always ego-driven, egotistic, and doesn't allow them to have any personal growth. And that's the thing with detailers. Like, we have to understand, at the end of the day, all we're learning how to do is to learn the professional way to remove dirt off vehicles and how to perfect paint, right? So if somebody doesn't know, it's all right? You'll get to know. It's just some people just get in the race a little bit before others. And sometimes not knowing intimidates, but don't feel intimidated. That's why Petersen and David and the staff there and everybody made it easy for us to come in, to work with the SONAX Flex, to be able to give them the flexibility. Like, hey, look, come see what detailing is at a real high-end level, because you could do it too. And that's the message I want to transmit. You could do it too. If you're a detailer, you want to make sure that when you leave that event, that your hands on, you're ready to rock and roll, to elevate the industry. And also, to learn about the IDA, good or bad, also, we'll talk about that. The IDA won't be happening during the event. We decided that it was going to be an event we're going to hold completely separate from the SONAX, because there was just too much confusion going on. But even that, we'll educate you, because at the end of the day, if we don't have something that represents us, then we don't have nothing at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I know a lot of people will be intimidated by the metal polishing, and I have personal experience with a lot of metal polishing, and it is a different game. It's a different technique, but you can still learn it. It's the same basic stuff. You are trying to make the metal look better. You're trying to give it a different appearance. And it has the same characteristics. It's just a different substrate. So I know a lot of people are intimidated by that because the changes are more visible than paint. The second that you start polishing aluminum or brass, that section completely changes. And your blending is so much more important on metal, because you can absolutely see where you start and stop. So to have somebody there that's an expert metal polisher that's going to teach people how to do that, that is just, I mean, that's like above and beyond, right? You guys got the cake layer, which is the SONAX and flex, and learning how to do some paint correction and not do paint correction when you don't need to. But then you got the icing on top of that cake, which is the metal polish. And then the little cherry that's on the top is just the fact that you're in one of the most beautiful environments for car people that you can ever imagine. I mean, it's a great environment to learn in. You're surrounded by cars. And I think that heightens your senses to allow you to do it the right way, right? When you're working on something, people have asked me all the time, that picture at the beginning when Rigo and David allowed me to work on the Jaguar of Steve McQueen. People say, how could you work on that car? My God, it's a priceless car. It's just a substrate. You treat it exactly like you do any other car. We didn't know who painted it. We did a test spot. The test spot, we said, we don't want to go that harsh, so we backed off. We chose a product that worked. It was a one-step polish, but that's no different than you would do on a car today. You could have to bring a 2026 car into your shop. You treat it exactly the same way. It's just a vehicle. So I think that's the point where people need to take a deep breath and realize that all substrates have their own characteristics, and whatever you're working on that day, whether it's airplane, boat, classic car, priceless car, motorcycle, polishing metal, it's all a substrate, and you just have to keep in mind the steps that you go to. And these kind of trainings are absolutely invaluable. You cannot put a price on the learning you'll get from this.
So how do people get registered for this event?
There's going to be a link going up on the Petersen website, but also my number and Rigo's number is available on that flyer, which is on his Instagram page, my Instagram page. But yeah, it should be going up pretty soon on the Petersen website, so you can link through there, and then you get all that information from there. Any questions, they can always call.
And your number is right down below right now. So if you see the number down there, take it down, take a screenshot.
Yeah, I left it long enough for you to write it down. So go grab your pen, paper, or like Rod said, grab a screenshot.
We'll put the flyer back up as well, so that people can do that, and we'll post it afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on.
So David, I mean, what's in store? What are these guys going to work on? I mean, you are the collection manager, so are you going to give us a sneak peek at what we're going to work on?
Well, definitely some cool stuff. So I really don't want to spoil it. I want to keep it a secret, but we're going to have some exciting cars coming in. We're definitely going to have a movie car. So
nice.
Of course. And he cuts to black.
Perfect timing.
He cuts to black.
Yeah. So they always have cool cars. I remember the last time we were there this summer, we were able to see the Steve McQueen, the Bullet car, the one that was actually in all the chase scenes and everything. And it's funny because a lot of people have commented on that, and they're like, "Oh, that's not the Bullet car. That's fake. The Bullet car's already in a museum." And we said, "Not the one that was actually in the chase scenes."
Right. Hey, that was a good cutoff for David. I got a cool prize, and it's gonna be a movie, and then he leaves, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That was a good exit, but
so the nice thing is there will be multiple vehicles. There's not always just one. There's always enough vehicles that, even if there were 20 people at a training, we've had 4 cars going at once down there. It's just amazing. So there is again another venue.
And you know what? This also opens the doors for us as an industry. Oh, there you go, you're back, the movie, and then you leave.
I know what happened.
Oh,
Yeah, we figured you had to go to your movie set trailer and start getting prepared for the training, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. We're putting some exciting cars. Definitely a movie car. I don't want to spoil it too much, but we're gonna get some top-notch cars in there. So if you do show up, you're gonna be amazed with the stuff you're gonna be working on.
Yeah.
All right. So once again, guys, August 28th, 29th, and the 30th at the Petersen Auto Museum. Here's the flyer. You may have seen it on Dave or Rigo's page.
Take a
screenshot, get those phone numbers, and you're going to want to attend. I told Rod that, you know, he got to go to RoadFS last week. He could take this one off, and he's like,
No, I'm sorry, man. Working on a rental car versus going to the Petersen, there's no way. I'm bringing a pillow. I'm going to sleep down in the vault.
Yeah, we can put you in that old 1930s.
That little tiny Honda, the one that nobody would look in, the first little tiny Honda. I'll just sleep in the back of that.
No, I think we put you in the paddy wagon and have you holding the bars.
That's right.
Feed me.
right on.
Yep. So we'll be there. We'll do some podcasting. Again, the phone numbers are out there. We'll post them again today. But if you have any questions, you can get a hold of any of the four of us, and we'll direct you in the right direction. And I mean, if you're going to go to one training this year, this is the one you're going to want to go to. I mean, it is going to be fantastic. 3 full days. The environment could not be any better. I mean, you couldn't add anything to make it more magical for car and motorcycle people than going to the Petersen. So,
absolutely.
Well,
Hey,
cool,
David,
man.
before we disconnect, in regards to the metal polishing, how many years of experience does he have, so that way they know?
For me,
who he is in
I've
metal
been polishing metal since 2017.
No, he's talking about the guy.
The trainer.
Oh, Matt's been doing it for over 20 years.
Oh yeah.
He has his own path that he constructed, makes the job easier. I don't know much about metal polishing, but I'm telling you, 2 years ago he polished a Cybertruck at SEMA, and that thing looked amazing. I didn't know you could do that.
There. So we got to watch him do that. So yeah, that's going to be fantastic. Like I said, I've done some metal polishing, but I'm going to learn. I'm sure I will learn tons of stuff just by watching him go do it. And that's the amazing thing about it is he's a really good guy. We met him 2 years ago at SEMA and watched him out there at the next to the Flex Coffee booth, watched him polishing that Cybertruck, and it's amazing what he can do.
Yep. So he called me up and he's like, I want to be part of this. And I'm like, absolutely. This is just going to add more value to this training. So we're super excited that he's coming down.
Nice.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you guys for taking the opportunity to visit with us and tell us about this amazing opportunity. Guys, once again, Flex, SONAX, Dr. ColorChip, AutoFiber, Lake Country, they're going to bring a phenomenal lineup of training for you. Rigo is always just, man, the guy knows his stuff. And we'll be August 28th, 29th, and 30th at the
Petersen Automotive Museum.
It's going to be epic.
Right there in California. The weather will be great. I've already been doing my little anti-rain dance and trying to get that cool down a little bit. And I think last thing I'll say is about the training is, and I can't say enough positive stuff, but a lot of trainings are just like in all different directions and it's hard to keep up. Man, you guys really organize it well, and everybody is given the opportunity to do the same things. I've been in so many trainings where it's like, man, I really wanted the opportunity to learn how to do that one thing, but I was over here doing this other thing. But everybody has the same opportunities, and I just really appreciate the way that you guys handle the progression through the training. They're very professional, but they're not military. They're not like, you're like snapping your fingers or anything like that. And there's always room for questions. And so, I mean, I'm telling you, if you have got to go to one training, this is the one. I'm going to emphasize that over and over. This is the one to go to, man.
Right on.
Awesome.
Well, like always, it's always great connecting with you guys and getting on the show. So looking forward to seeing you at the end of the month, guys.
Yep. Yeah, well, absolutely. Thank you guys for inviting us.
Thank you.
Yep. And we will check you
Talk to
in
you
3
guys in a couple of
weeks.
weeks.
And you guys that are watching the show, we have another amazing guest on Thursday. So you get two of us this week. It's a twofer. So anyway, we will take you same time, same bad channel, just Thursday. See ya.